Welcome to More Than Mindset, the only podcast that bridges the gap between spirituality and success. Go beyond the mind with clarity and confidence coach Kim Guillory and learn how to integrate your passion to serve with your skills and experience to create a business you love. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome back to the show. I am going to talk about greatness. Now, listen, guys. This may be an uncomfortable conversation. So I am doing a challenge right now that's called Get It Done. And it's all about quit procrastinating, quit waiting for perfection, quit beating up yourself and all of those things. And this is part of it because we're doing a Jamming for Greatness challenge. And whenever I read the definition, it kind of made me feel funny, which told me this is probably going to make other people feel uncomfortable. So I thought it'd be a great topic to do the show on. So let me just read you the definition and give you my takeaway and see how it lands for you. So greatness is the ability, quality, or eminence of being considerably above normal or average, very good or satisfactory, actually excellent. That is not comfortable because we have been told not to be too much, right? So it's very uncomfortable to say, I'm above normal. I'm above average. I'm actually excellent, very satisfactory, very good. It's kind of weird how it sits funny, right? It reminds me of the Marianne Williamson poem, right? Where we dilute or make ourselves small so that other people will feel more comfortable around us. So we almost punish ourselves for being great. We punish ourselves for being all of us because we've been taught that it is uncomfortable, impolite, not nice, right? All of the things that we've been told about winning, whether it's making a lot of money, having a big house, having the nice car, life being kind to you, right? All of those things. There's almost like this guilt or this slander that happens, or someone makes you bad because of that thriving to be above normal or above average. And I just want to question, why would we want to be average? Why would we want to be normal? Why would we want to be like anyone else? Or better yet, why do we want to be the setting on a washing machine, right? When I look at my washer, it says normal, light load, right? Or normal. I don't want to be normal. Why would anyone want to be normal? Whenever you can be creative and expressive and individual, why would we want to be normal or average when we could be great? Does that make you uncomfortable? I'm curious because I'm thinking about like stories that I've heard over the years, whether it was told to me or clients, just about like the shame of wanting more, the shame of speaking boldly, speaking loudly, having an opinion or having something to contribute that is different from what everyone else is saying, because that has created something inside of us that we are now protecting so that we don't get pointed out, so we don't get labeled as different or too much. It's crazy that like how much that holds us back from being all that we actually are. And I'm just kind of curious about, for you, how old were you when you first heard that you shouldn't be too much, that you shouldn't get all that, that even thinking about, like, I'm kind of remembering times where like when the kids graduate and it's the same person that gets all of the awards, right? It's the same 5 or 6 people. And it's like, there's comments being said about that. But we could use it for inspiration. We could use it for motivation instead of using it against ourselves, like as if there's something wrong with those who have achieved, who have attained, who've reached their goals, who've reached greatness. Like, how can we turn that around in order to use it as fuel for ourselves, right? I say use everything. Use the shame, use the past, use the present, use the fear, use it as jet fuel or rocket fuel. Use the anger, the injustice, use all of that stuff to fuel the energy inside of you, to give you the bravery, to give you the courage in order for you to step out. So I want to just leave you with the question of, does greatness make you feel uncomfortable? Does it feel like you're too much? Does it feel like you're doing something wrong? Do you have guilt or shame about that? Because maybe someone in your family or in your environment doesn't have the same skill set or opportunity as you. What is the reason that greatness is uncomfortable? And you can just write this out. Like, it's not kind to be great because, or I shouldn't attain to be great because, and just see what comes out of your subconscious mind. Because listen, guys, our level of awareness is minimal. And when it comes to what you are doing, like the actions that you're taking, the things that you're creating, we use very little of our awareness. Most of what's running the show in our life is coming from the subconscious. Think about it. Do you remember brushing your teeth? Do you remember brushing that tooth? Do you remember cranking your car? Do you remember backing out of the driveway? No, we become robots. We're like on autopilot. That's the subconscious. It's just like kind of doing it for us. We don't even have to think about things that we do over and over and over. And this goes for the way that you talk to yourself. And so if you have been quiet and like I'm an empath, I'm uncomfortable, I'm not an extrovert, I'm an introvert, like all of those things that you keep telling yourself is creating what you are right now. It's creating the experience that you have right now. When the truth is, we have a choice at any given moment to look at either side. Both exist. I am great. I am normal. Both exist. You can be normally great. What if we raise the normal level to greatness? Like, how interesting would that be? Would we help each other along? Right? But instead, so many of us are insecure. We don't know where we belong. We don't know what our place is. We're afraid to say the wrong thing because someone is going to put us down or embarrass us, make shame out of what we're doing or being. And we use that against ourselves. And I want to offer you to think about it differently. Would you just decide to be great? Like, would you choose it? And once you choose it, like, I want greatness. I want to live above normal, above average. If I shared statistics with you, you would really want to do this because it's a very small percentage that live a life of greatness, that live their potential, that reach their potential. It's a very, very like 1%. Do you know what that's saying? Like, we could elevate all of humanity if we do it. And if we share the how-to with someone else, if we become the example, if we become the inspiration, the motivation for others to do it, if we influence, create an influence by example, then we're raising that percentage up. So what if you just decided, I want to live a great life. I want to be great. I want to practice greatness. You let the discomfort settle and then you commit to it. I'm all in. I'm going all the way. I'm going to reach my potential before I leave this earth. I'm going to be all that I am, all that I can be. I'm going to break through these limiting beliefs and these old patterns. I'm going to break through this guilt and this fear about greatness, right? I'm going to move through normal and average. I'm going to become satisfactory and excellent. And then you cultivate the environment from that perspective. You just start living in greatness. Is this going to take me closer to what I want, or is this going to take me further away? And every decision you make, you ask that question first. Is this going to take me closer to greatness? Is this going to help me live a great life? Ask that question. That's cultivating. You're making the decision in the moment that you're already living the life of greatness. And then you've got to cut away at those who are not supporting you, those who are not on your side. You can still have conversation with them, but you won't have the conversation that has to do with your personal empowerment and personal responsibility. You're like, listen, mom, listen, sister, listen, friend. Listen, butthole, we can talk about the flowers outside. We can talk about what we ate for dinner, but we cannot talk about my greatness. We cannot talk about my goals. There's a boundary there. because you can't influence me negatively. I can't hear that because I'm not in full belief of my own greatness yet. I just know I'm taking the steps towards it. And I can't afford to have you contaminate my belief, right? You have to take a stand for that. You have to set that boundary. And so you're deciding or choosing to go for it. And then you're going to commit to yourself, to the vision, to humanity in general. I'm going to be the influence of greatness. And then you cultivate, you cut away, you make very clear boundaries, and then you get in a community of people who can support you, who believe in you, who buy your vision, who want to be great with you. That's really important because we don't want to be alone, right? There's a natural defense inside of us that's trying to protect us because we don't want to be isolated. We don't want to be different. We don't want to be rejected or abandoned. And we believe if we're too much, we will be because that's what has happened in the past. So you get yourself in a community of people who can be great with you, people who are holding you accountable, people who are pushing you to the edge and who are also believing even when you don't believe. We have that community. The More Than Mindset community, eSchool is a part of that if you want to grow your business. Self-Healing Masters is that if you want to grow your personal life. Like we have the community. If you really want to do this work and you want it to become an integrative mind-body coach, that's where we really break into this old identity and create the new one. This is deep work and it requires a commitment. And it requires discipline because you have to continue committing every single day. All right. So I'll just ask you, do you want to be great? Do you want to live a life of greatness? Do you want to be the example or the influence of what greatness looks like? Do you want to achieve it yourself so that you can help guide others along and help them become great so that we can elevate humanity, so we can elevate as a whole? I hope your answer is yes. If you know someone else who needs to hear this, please share it. Leave me a review. Let me know you're listening. Send an email, comment, respond, come into the group, whatever that looks like. I love engagement. So I love to respond. I love when someone has questions for me because that opens up more opportunity for me to share. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm here to do. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.